to the Quintessential Rebel podcast. I know it's been a while, but we are fully back. This is Oreme Karim, your host as always. How have you all been? Did you miss me? I sure missed all of you. Well, as usual, we have a very special guest in the studio today. I can't wait to introduce him to you guys. To some, he might not be a stranger because you have seen him before. Not on this show, not on this podcast, but stay tuned. You'll remember when you've seen him before. So on this episode, we have none other than Yanni Shook. Sook. I was trying to say the name correctly.
It was
the last name correctly. Yanni Sook. Right?
That was it.
Okay. He's Kentuckiana's or Kentucky's most recognized ballroom dancer.
That's right.
Wow. In the entire Kentucky. He is from Hungary, obviously an immigrant. He's a proud dad of two beautiful daughters. He's a proud husband, he's a realtor, he's an investor, he's an entrepreneur. And of course, he was my dance coach for Last Dance Louisville, which is kind of like Dancing with the Stars. We trained together for several months and we did an awesome job.
Yeah, we just won this trophy together.
Yes.
Let's don't forget about that.
Yes, so that's where some of you have seen him. Yanni, I know it's been a long time coming trying to get you on this show, but I know how incredibly busy your schedule is.
So happy to be here finally.
So I am so glad you were able to make it today. How are you?
I'm great. Very busy, but we finally made it. We've been planning doing this for over 6 months, and now
Yes.
we're here. So I cannot wait to talk to you about my life.
Awesome.
And chat a little bit.
Yeah, so let's do it. So tell us a little bit, walk us down memory lane. Tell us a little bit about you, your background, growing up, moving from Hungary to the United States.
Well, the background is, it is from Hungary. I was born in Hungary, and it was a communist country, so I grew up very poor. My dad was a taxi cab driver, and my mom, she worked at a library. So grew up in a very middle class family. I remember my dad, making money, putting it into this little bag he had, and that's all we had. That's how we were saving up. So I came from somewhere where opportunities were hard to find. So when I turned 19, I decided I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go and leave my country, and I was gonna move to Germany first. So I learned German. I was fluent in German.
Yeah.
And I was gonna be in the restaurant business until I turned 20 and I started actually dancing. So then I fell in love with ballroom dancing, as well as I fell in love with my dance coach, who happened to be my wife now.
Wow.
So yes, my lovely wife, she was my dance coach. She's a couple of years older than me. And she decided to move to the United States. And
she's from Hungary as well?
From Hungary, yes. She's from Hungary.
Okay.
And she got an opportunity. I stayed home finishing college, and we did the long distance for a little while. And after that, I moved here, not speaking any language.
Wow.
I knew English at all. I had probably about $200 saved up in Hungary on my name, and I had a luggage. So I got the visa. I was very lucky. I got the visa to be able to move to the United States, but I wasn't able to work yet. And that was a very tough time. Yes. I was only 22 years old, came here. My wife, my new wife, was never home because she was always working at the dance studio, and I was at home basically crying almost every single day because I didn't speak the language. Nobody spoke to me. And I felt very lonely. So I started the American dream. I started cleaning cars. That was my first job. My first job was cleaning the dance studio owner's cars and being a nanny to his son.
Wow.
And then I got my first real job. And I got fired after the first day. So
After the first
a lot
day,
of, yes.
how bad could you have been?
I'm very bad.
After the
So
first
these
day.
hands are made for ballroom dancing and not putting window tint film on commercial buildings. So one of the dance studio students where my wife was working said, hey, I got a job for you. You can go and install these foils over the windows. I'm going to teach you how to do it. So I went there one night, I went to the training, and I was hired. But 24 hours later, I was basically fired because I was using more foil on those windows than I could actually. Usually, you put the window foil on it, and then it has to have no bubbles on it, like how you tint the windows with a car.
Yeah.
So we did this on commercial buildings, and I was so bad at it that the guy said, "Look, I'm paying more for foil than you are installing, so we can't really do this anymore." And that was a big one. Yeah, after 24 hours, I remember I went home and I cried. And my next chapter, that's when actually my dancing chapter started. So,
well, we're gonna come back to that dancing
yes,
chapter in a few minutes.
Yes.
But you say you speak German.
Yes.
Say something in German.
Guten Nacht. I think that is good night or something like that. I actually
That is too easy. Say something.
Oh.
Okay, tell.
I don't know if I can remember any more complicated. It's been 20-something years.
Also, you don't speak it as
I don't
fluent.
practice it anymore, yes.
Okay.
So I was
That's
fluid
the
in it.
language.
Yes. As I'm fluid in now in English, but I
Yes.
totally forgot it in 20 years.
Yeah.
So my life took a complete 180 turn from
Yeah.
moving to Germany into the restaurant business, moving to the United States,
Yeah.
and become a dancer.
So you said something during your background story about you wanted to start a restaurant business,
Yes.
but you went in a different direction.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. Did you watch your parents, cooking quite a bit and you picked up a few skills here and there? Or how did the thoughts even cross your mind?
So originally I was gonna be a bartender slash server slash manager. That's how most people in a communist country,
Yeah.
you are not allowed to own businesses. So what I do now, I have multiple businesses, dance studio, real estate. You're not allowed to do that. So the only way how you can make money if you work hard for yourself.
Yeah.
My dad being a cab driver and my family members and friends, they were servers. So sounds, I know it sounds ridiculous now, but my dream was to be a server in Germany where I can make good money, save up, and buy a house in Hungary. So my dream job was being a bartender and server
Yeah.
in Germany. So I learned how to speak German in school,
Yeah.
and I almost moved to Germany.
So take us through how you came here in your early 20s, very young, did not speak any English. You're now married, home, a little bit depressed because of the fact that you cannot relate to people, you're lonely, you're home. How did you learn the language to be able to not only survive, but to thrive in the United States?
That is the continuity of my dream. So after I got fired from the window tinting business, the next day I went to the dance studio, and they had these guest parties. So Thursday night, and they brought in a lot of new students into the dance studio who were potential clients for the future. And those new ladies came in, and I remember I was standing in the back corner of the studio. I didn't speak the language, and I didn't know how to dance the American style. And my wife comes up to me and says, look, there's 2 or 3 ladies there who said they would sign up for dance lessons. These are new clients. They never danced before. They want to sign up for dance lessons, but they're pointing at you and say, we would like to dance, but only if you can dance with that guy in the back, that long-haired guy who's standing in there with the shirt open. And that was me. So the problem with that was that I didn't speak the language, which means I couldn't teach them, and I didn't know how to dance the American style dances.
Okay.
So that night, the studio owner came to me and said, look, you have an amazing opportunity in this business. People want to dance with you. Just by looking at you, they feel something from you. So you need to learn how to dance, and you need to learn how to speak English. So the next day I showed up, I was in the dance studio 12 hours a day, watching VHS tapes on how to dance the American style, and in the meantime, chatting with other teachers and clients who were in the dance studio.
Even though you
And,
did not speak English.
No, I only knew hi, how are you, yes, no, cha-cha-cha, tango, and waltz. So I knew some dance names, and I knew how to say yes and no.
Okay.
And in about 7 months, that was my turning point. In about 7 months, I not just learned how to speak the language, but also became one of the top dancer in that region.
Wow.
So it took me 7 months of hard work, being there 12 hours a day, and then I felt hope. See, after that 7 months, I thought, I can do this. This is what I love to do,
Yeah.
and now I can speak to people. So then I got my first teaching job,
Okay.
and I was at the USC University. So I was teaching kids only a few years younger than me, basically. I was teaching them how to dance for 2 semesters, and that was my dream job. And then the studio owners slowly started giving me now students because I actually speak the language and I can dance as well. So I would say in 7 months, I turned my life around and I said I could do this. I moved here for a reason. And I moved to America for opportunities,
Yeah.
and I'm going to do this.
And that's the power of belief. You saw a problem and you did not just continue to mope around. You actually were determined and believed in yourself that if you put your mind to it, you can actually do it. And in 7 months, you were able to turn your life around by not only teaching what your dream job was at the time and is still to this present day, which is ballroom dancing, but also speaking the language. But I think one thing that I am intrigued by is one of the statements that you made, that your original plan was to move to Germany, but instead you moved to the United States. And you know, a lot of people have this dream of coming to the United States and having the American dream, so to speak. How has that journey been for you generally?
For me, as growing up in Eastern Europe, the American dream was about positivity and opportunity.
Okay.
And that was the biggest and most important awakening for me when I moved here, that everybody seemed happy, everybody was smiling, and I thought everybody was cared about how I really feel, or how I am. You know what, guys, how are you?
Yeah.
And everybody greets you with a smile. That's not how it is in Hungary. So where I grew up, and if you ask my mom how she is at the bus stop, she will say, I'm good, but you know, my grandmother's cat died, and my second cousin just had a surgery. There's always a negativity, or there's always a concern or something attached to that. While in America, I felt like, wow, everybody's smiling, everybody's so friendly to me, they all want to help us. And that's actually when I decided this place is very different. It's something I haven't seen before. When we moved here, for example, just the generosity of American people to me, what touched me the most is we moved here with my wife and we were married for about less than a year.
Okay.
And at the dance studio where my wife knew obviously a lot of the clients, but I didn't know anybody, I arrived and they thrown an arrival party / wedding shower to us. And we received these gifts from people I never met before, I never seen before. They came up, they gave me a hug, they shook my hand, and we got thousands of dollars of worth of, you know, toaster ovens and just these small gifts that you would get as a wedding gift, as a wedding shower. And they threw the shower to us the second week I arrived to the United States. And I thought, wow, this is very different. These people are very loving, very kind, and everybody seems very positive. So that was a complete life change for me, from where I'm from.
As an immigrant, how, because I still want you to talk about, because it's different when you go to a different country such as the United States as an immigrant. What you thought growing up, right? And when you finally arrived in the US as an immigrant, and now 2 decades later. Tell us a little bit about how that journey has been.
So when you grow up in Eastern Europe, you don't have access to here in the United States.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I wanted to move to Germany because it was 8 hours drive away. The only thing I knew about the United States is the movies, the Christmas movies. I remember that. The Chevy Chase movies or whatever those movies are. I remember Christmas movies and I remembered yellow cabs in New York City.
Okay.
That was my picture about the United
I've
States.
not seen you look up in a while.
That's how old I am. See, that's been 20 years. Yes, 20 plus years ago. And that was the two things I knew about this country.
Okay.
So I was like, if this is it, I want to see it. I just still want to try it and see it. And that's the reason why I made that step. Now, 20 years from that point where I am right now, having a beautiful daughter, a beautiful family, owning multiple businesses, blessed to be able to sitting here talking to you and be the most well-known dancer, I guess, in Kentucky. It takes a lot of hard work.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if I stay home in overseas in Hungary or here, it still takes a lot of work. But I will tell this to everyone who's watching and who grew up here. There's still a lot more and lot easier opportunities in the United States than anywhere else in the world. And I'm nothing more than thankful for being here. I got a little bit emotional sometimes about it, but being here and welcoming me.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we're glad
so
you're
it
here.
takes a lot of hard work, but it's well worth it. And I became American citizen officially about 5 years ago. I took the test. And interestingly enough, I'll tell this story to you. So you have to show up to it's in downtown, and you have to learn all these dates and everything. You basically have to learn a lot of the American history, yes? And you're sitting just like this with a lady who's basically there to question you if you're worthy to become American, because you want to learn the history and the story. So I sat down with the lady just like I did to you, and she asked me about my story.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, after about 10 minutes of conversation, she said, "Oh my God, welcome you to this country. Here you are. Now you're an American." And that was my test. So it was beautiful.
Yes. And that was very beautiful. And one thing I continue to remind people of is that we're all immigrants in this country except for the Native Americans.
Absolutely.
The Indians, Native Indians. We all, it doesn't matter what the color of your skin is, even if you're Caucasian, if you're black, we are all immigrants. We all came here one way or the other. And so when I hear the political rhetoric about go back to your country, go back to where you came from, I said, well, everybody has a place to go back to. Like I said, this country belonged to the Native Indians. And so we are all occupants here, and this has been a melting pot for diverse cultures and races. And if we all continue to work together, we can actually still reach and exceed the American dream.
Okay. Interestingly enough, let me say this. I
Yes.
feel connected for some reason to the Native Indian culture in America, and I support it and love it. Ever since I moved here, as a matter of fact, I'm only usually wearing Native American made jewelry. Every time I travel around the world or the United States now to dance, the first stop will be to Whole Foods. I like to eat healthy, but my second stop will be usually to a Native American store, and I just love to support their community and collect their jewelry, and I'm proudly wearing it today.
Yes. Well, we're gonna step away from your background and your relocation to the United States and talk about your passion,
I'm here now.
which
I'm
is
here.
ballroom.
Ballroom dancing.
When I got listed, I guess, under the 12 dancers for Let's Dance Louisville, listen, I did not know what to expect. As a Nigerian, as an African, I know Afrobeats, I know we have rhythm, I know I can dance the African way, but I can dance to the music. But ballroom dancing was a whole other beast. I came in thinking, oh, this will be a piece of cake, this is easy. And then I was slowly humbled, okay? Like just because you have rhythm in this type of dancing, ballroom dancing, no, you're gonna start from the bottom up. And so walk us through the different types of ballroom dancing and why it's good, not just mentally, physically, but holistically. Why this is very important.
I love the word used, holistically. I never find the right words for this when I talk about ballroom dancing. We know, you watch the show Dancing with the Stars, we've all seen it. We know ballroom dancing is good for the body, yes?
Yeah.
It's good for us to stay fit, move around. You can learn a lot of different movements with it, but there's a lot more you can learn through ballroom dancing.
Yeah.
You use the word humble you, and I don't like to use that word. I like to use the word maybe like surprise you. Surprise how well or how not well you can actually learn. But ballroom dancing does teach you a lot more than just steps. So I do this for a living now for 20 plus years, and I work with maybe beautiful women, just like you are, and they walk into my studio a lot of the time very insecure about themselves or insecure about what this is going to be. So I noticed how much more I'm able to teach other than the dance steps. And I feel like every day I get to teach women how to be more elegant, how to be more graceful, how to be leading themselves a little bit more, how to carry themselves. You know, I work with very successful women in my business. A lot of my clients are attorneys, doctors, business owners. And when I ask them what they're looking to get out of this, a lot of the time it's exercise.
Okay. Is it considered a good form of exercise?
It is very good exercise. As you can tell, you know, it's something I do 8 hours a day.
That's how you stay so slim.
So most people tell me I'm skinny, and I always tell them I'm not skinny, I'm a dancer.
Yeah.
And being a dancer is a lifestyle.
Okay.
So that's what's something I think a lot of people don't know. For me, it's a lifestyle. Sure, I travel around the country and I'm sometimes dancing in front of thousands of people on the weekend. So I have to look presentable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I sleep well, I work out, I eat healthy, and I take care of myself. And it's this whole bubble around it. So yes, it's not, I always tell my clients too, you're not my client, you're not my student. You are my dancer or you are my dance partner. So being a dancer is a lifestyle.
Okay. So how do you go about selecting your clients? Is there like a process that you or they have to go through to become your client?
So there is a process now. I'm very blessed to be able to say that my studio is a public facility, but you're gonna have to make an appointment to meet with me. And now, essentially, my business is word of mouth. So I got to the point where I'm living in this amazing city of Louisville, where everybody knows what I do for a living. So if they would like to do ballroom dancing, they will reach out to me personally. And then usually we go through an interview process. I give them a call and talk about their goals. Not everybody's goal will align with my goals. So if we are not seeing eye to eye on what we're looking for, I usually recommend them another facility, another dance studio, or another professional who might be the better fit for them. I want to make sure my clients are coming there to dance with me, to grow with me, to change their life. And not just learn steps. If you want to learn steps, I can recommend you 2 other dance studios in town. And if you're a creeper, also,
What is a creeper?
Well,
what is a creeper?
I've noticed in the last couple of years that I will tell you an example.
Yeah.
About a year ago, I got a lady. She called me and she had a very good story. She said, "I went through recently a divorce. I'm looking for a new hobby, and I thought dancing with you would be an amazing, opportunity." So I said, "Great, come on in for a dance lesson." So lady comes in, her outfit was extremely inappropriate. That's how it started.
Okay.
And usually on the first dance lesson, I don't actually dance with you. So we turn around, we look at the mirror, and we dance next to each other, and maybe I make you turn a little bit. So I'm being very careful of how I approach, because I really want to feel my clients out first, what they are really looking
Yeah.
for. Well, this lady, in the middle of the lesson, started talking about her being a massage therapist, how she would like to massage me, and she has this facility at home, and I
Now
thought,
that's a creeper.
that is a creeper. So in the end of the 45-minute lesson, she said, oh, I would love to come back. I said, great, just send me the check. Send the check to my wife, Victoria, and I will give you a call back next week. Needless to say, this lady has never done it.
Yes.
But you do have people like this, and obviously those are the ones who I'm not interested in working with. So I have a great group of clients, and I'm very happy with my
Because when you think about it, ballroom dancing can be very sensual. Ballroom dancing can be, depending on what type of dance you do, even within the sessions, like I said, depending again, can be very touchy, but in an appropriate way. But if somebody who has negative intentions come and learn how to dance, they're already thinking about what else they would like to do other than the dancing. So you are able to kind of see through
Exactly.
that's potential dancers and know who to accept as a client and who not to.
I don't want anybody to come to dance with me because I have, I have abs and I have
Yes.
That's not what that's not what I want. I know you made some comments on that before. But so this is not what I'm here for, and I've been doing a lot as a person. Even just in the last 10 years, I changed my mindset. I changed my mindset of what's important for me once I'm not around anymore, and it's a beautiful thing.
Tell us a little bit about your fashion sense. Because you have, and as you talk about your fashion sense, let's also read into it what advice would you give to your younger Yanni? Looking back this many years, what would you say to the 8-year-old Yanni, the 10-year-old Yanni? But then talk about your fashion sense, because you have a great fashion sense. Even during the ballroom dances, I've had a chance to go through your social media. You're a creeper, but I've had a chance, in the course of preparing for the interview, to go through your post and all of that. But tell us a little bit about how, when you wake up in the morning, what routine, what do you go through to put your fashion together to look presentable? Because like you said earlier, you're in a space where you always have to look presentable.
I always have to look presentable, and that's even if I wear athletic clothes. This is my advice for all the guys in America. Guys, it's not about the money, what you're spending on clothes, it's about the fit. So make sure you get things fitted. This outfit to me took me about 8 seconds to figure out. Most people, if they do a podcast, they will try to plan on it for days what they're gonna wear.
Yeah.
This took me about 8 seconds to pick it last night about 10 o'clock, because everything in my closet is fitted for me. So I bought this jacket, I think at, can I say the name? Okay, so I bought it at a store.
It's a store.
In Chicago, and I took it to my tailor here. I have a very good tailor in Louisville, and he just fits it to me. And yes, I have a very kind of European style, I guess, what people tell me all the time. And it's clearly noticeable when I walk around, because I get comments and questions about it. Especially here in Louisville, I get a lot of comments about it, and it's part of the lifestyle. Now, you asked me about my younger days. I tell you a story which I guess this is the place to say, because almost nobody knows about this.
Okay.
So I've been into fashion since I was very, very young. 10 years old. You mentioned 10 years old. I'll tell you a story how much I'm into fashion. So I wanted to get these really expensive Nike shoes. And my mom and dad couldn't afford it.
Okay.
So they got me a cheaper version of it, dupe, I would say. And I was so disappointed that I really wanted that more expensive shoe. So I put this very, very inexpensive shoe on. I went to school the first day, And when I got home, I got a scissor and I cut the front of the shoes out right here. And I told my mom when she came home from work, I said, Mom, I need the new shoes because I went to school and I kicked the fence and it created a hole in my shoes. So can you go ahead and get me that Nike shoes now? And I'm embarrassed to say this, not too many people knows this story, but that's how fashion oriented I was. I thought it was all about the brands, and I literally destroyed the brand new shoes I got from my mom and dad
Just to get
a brand new, more expensive brand name shoes. And that was about, I was 10 or 12 years old. So it's embarrassing, but I guess this is the opportunity for me to tell you these things. But yes, it's all about fit. It doesn't take me a long time to, pull myself together. I have a beard now most of the time. Most of the guys have beards.
So know your body type and know what fits your body type. Because a lot of times you can look at, some people will go to the store, right? They will see a fit on a mannequin and just assume that if they purchase what looked good on that mannequin, it will look good on them as well. Not knowing that everybody has a different body shape and body type, you just have to know how to complement that body type with outfits that you purchase.
I see that all the time, and I agree with you 100%. Now, another advice I would give to anyone who's purchasing anything, wear it with confidence and who you are. Don't think about your body type. Sure, this might be looking good on me, but it might not look good on somebody else. But I always tell everyone, as long as people ask me or tell me all the time I have swag. I didn't even know what swag meant until a couple of years ago, so I had to Google it. My advice to every man, wear it with confidence. Know who you are, and confidence doesn't come from who you are or what you're looking at, or how you are looking. I actually noticed that throughout my journey, become a dance coach and work with people all the time. Self-confidence to me is find one thing inside of you. Let's say I'm a good dancer, so I walk around like a good dancer all the time, with my shoulders back, with my chest out, and I'm projecting self-confidence. But if I would be a great cook or a great painter, find that one thing you are good at, embrace it, and project it to the world. And that's where I feel like more people need to hear this, where self-confidence. Trainers will always tell you, lose weight and you're gonna look much better, or get a six-pack and you will have self-confidence. I actually disagree with that. I think self-confidence comes from knowing who you are, that one particular thing you feel you are good at, and project it to the world. And everyone will notice you and compliment you.
What keeps you motivated? In a world, especially now, where there's so much going on, you wake up every day and there's a completely new thing, and you're like, how did we get here? How do you stay motivated, not just with life, but with the fact that it becomes challenging and you have to get up, pull yourself up, attend to your clients, and make sure that you are not just surviving, but you're thriving? What is that driving force that keeps you going, that keeps you motivated?
I have 3 driving forces, and I will start with the most important. Number 1 is my children. They drive me. I see them growing up. I made a commitment 12 years ago when Evelyn was born that I will be there for everything and I will be a super dad. Now, super dad was including in my book that I will show up to any and every activities they have. I will be there for them, not just financially providing everything, but emotionally supporting their little hearts, their little heartbreaks. They are 12 and 10 now. They go through heartbreaks and boyfriends. I know, trust me. 12 years old, it's starting. So
tell them to wait 5 more years.
So I wanted to be their emotional support as well, and I wanted them to see what it takes. And that's a perfect example. 2 nights ago, 7 o'clock on a Saturday night, the last place I wanted to be was at the gym. So my wife and my 2 daughters are watching some show I never, some vampire show I'm not interested about. So I told my daughters, I said, look, you know where is the last place I want to be right now? In the gym. And look what I'm going to do. I'm going to change, put my sleeveless shirt on, my sweatpants, and I'm going to walk into the gym. I wanted them to see that I'm doing something what I don't necessarily want to do, but it requires discipline. And I basically teach them that discipline as well throughout my actions. And that's one of my drive. My other drive is that I'm very competitive. So very competitive in business with how I look, how I try to keep myself put together. And truly, the third, my drive is the people around me. I try to surround myself with people who bring me up, bring positivity into my life. And those people like you, for example, I said immediately yes to this podcast because you're someone who's inspiring me and you are driving me and you are a warm, beautiful person in my life. And I'm trying to surround myself only with people like that, and that's my drive.
Okay, that's awesome. Now tell us a little bit about Let's Dance Louisville. I know you've been a part of the organization and the charity event for many years now, and then there will be, of course, another one for 2026.
Right.
Tell us how you got started and how that journey has been.
So my favorite event, we do a lot of charity events. That's one of my ways of giving back to the community, and that's what I'm so happy I got to the point where now I get to give back. And one of the ways we are is giving back with Let's Dance Louisville, and it's one of my, if not my favorite event of the year. So I've been doing it since year one, and then when they approached us with the idea, I've been getting approached with these ideas now several times a year, and some of them I have to decline, which is not the right fit. But when Maggie Cyphers, the chair of the event, approached us, I said, wow, this is a great idea. Number one, I didn't know anything about the kitchen. So I'm sure some of our audience are not familiar with it, but there is a kitchen in the Cathedral of Ascension.
Yeah, I wasn't aware
until the event came in, and there is a kitchen in the basement where there are a staff of I think 2 or 3 people serving every single day to our friends, our homeless community basically in Louisville, every single day a lunch for them, 365 days a year, and we now provide the funds by raising money with Let's Dance Louisville for the operation of that kitchen, and that's a life-changing experience for not just the people who are able to go there and receive a free warm meal, but also for someone who can make that happen. I mean, now I'm driving around downtown with my daughters, and if we see a homeless person at the intersection, I will give them money, but I will also tell them, by the way, did you know about this opportunity? And for me to teach this to my daughters, they are the most proud of me for that, by the way. I accomplished so many things in my life, but one of the things what they keep mentioning is Let's Dance Louisville and what we do for the community. So my daughters giving me this feedback and this appreciation because I do something nice for the community, it means the world to me. And yes, we're gonna keep going. Let's Dance Louisville. I hope we have another 25 years left, and we can.
And yeah, of course, you will be participating next year.
Yes, and I love the name.
Yeah, from day one.
Yes, I love the name. We named it the Feed My Neighbor Foundation because all of these people are our neighbors, and yes, it's been a blessing to be part of it.
That's awesome. Any future plans, anything that that's cooking right now that you can share with us? Because I think you always have something up your sleeves.
There is a lot of cooking. Yes, there is a lot of cooking. So this was kind of like my journey in the last 30 minutes, just my short life story, I guess. But I get to the point in my life where more opportunities are coming to me, and I don't have to find the opportunities anymore. And that's a huge blessing. And one thing I decided when this year started, 2025, that I'm gonna say more yes to things. I used to say a lot of no's because I was always very busy, the kids, the businesses, and I'm gonna start saying more yes.
Okay.
So there is a couple of things I will start doing, which I have to say you'll be surprised. So keep watching my social media.
Okay.
Uh,
So we need to stay tuned for
Stay
it.
tuned for yes.
Okay.
Stay tuned, but there's a lot of things.
They're
Coming.
huge, huge stuff.
They are pretty huge, and you know
Okay.
what? They are not financially huge, and that's what changed. I always thought that my future and my um, my story is going to be about finances, and I will provide this for my daughters. I will buy 25 rental properties, and they're going to be okay. But that's not what my mind.
Yeah.
My mind is.
Sometimes it's about legacy.
Yes, and it's very interesting you said that. Legacy is an interesting word. I don't want to feel my legacy, and I don't want the people to know about my legacy once I'm dead. I want to be living in my legacy. And I never heard anyone saying this, and I thought about this because you sent me this last night, and I thought, I want to be living in my legacy. I want to be in my legacy right now and not when I'm dead.
That's an interesting way to look at life. Okay. Living in your legacy and not waiting till you're no longer here for people to talk about your legacy.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly. And I used to think, even 10 years ago when I started real estate, I used to think legacy was the American dream where the baby boomers build up a company and they're going to give it to their sons and daughters, and this is my legacy, now you carry it on. Honestly, to me, it has nothing to do with legacy. I thought, oh, I will buy 25 rental properties, I will give it to my daughters when I'm dead, and they're going to be okay for life. That's not legacy, because that only happens, these are only the financial successes. And I think there's a lot more success you can give to the people around you, and a lot more love and kindness than financial success. So this is my saying, I guess maybe I should trademark it. I want to be living in my legacy, and I don't want my legacy to start once I'm dead.
That's awesome. Put that on a t-shirt.
I should.
One final, and it's been a great time here in the studio with you, Yanni, but one final question for you before we come to the end of this podcast. What is the one thing that you wish there was more of in this world? As you look at the world generally, not just in the United States, but globally, what is the one thing that you wish there was more of? If you could just snap your finger and you could create some type of change, what would that be?
I'm going to answer this question two ways if you don't mind.
Okay.
I would like to say first, but I would like to have less of. I would love to have, this is going to sound really silly, but I have daughters, young daughters. I would like to have less screen time for all of us, and I would like to have more reading time for both. Thank you. And I've been thinking about this, very, very much, and please get off from the screen. I have this conversation 10 times a day with my daughters, and I wish that's not where the world is going.
Mm-hmm.
What I would like to have more of in the same breath is more of that personal connection, more of the time when we are spending together, sitting down like this, going to dinner where the phones are flipped down or in a basket even put away, and really just more, I know it sounds cliche, but more kindness. I see so many hate and just people teasing each other, poking each other in a way where it just makes me really, really sad. I wish people would be more kind, people would be more loving, and unfortunately, a lot of it is from social media. So if you look at what I do on my social media, I'm all about my daughters. It's kids, and nothing but love and positivity. And that's what I'm trying to now just kind of teach people, and I guess, and talk about it a little bit more, because yes, I would love to have more of that.
I love that.
I don't need more money. Nobody needs more money. We are here. We can eat. We can have, food provided to our family, and we don't need more money. We don't need another car. We don't need another private jet. I would never say. And that's the problem, is the social media portrays that. You get all the private jets and the boats. Everybody's just more success and more money. Well, what is success?
Yeah.
Success is not financial success.
Yeah. Whew.
And I
that was-
consider myself a very successful man.
Yeah, that was wonderful. And on that note, we have come to the end of today's episode of the Quintessential Rebel Podcast. Have you subscribed yet? Are you following us? Have you liked us? Please do that today if you're yet to do that. And so that you can keep, up to date on all our episodes. Thank you so much for watching this very special episode. Until next time, this is Orime Karim signing off. Take care now.